residents of Evergreen Village may finally be getting some relief. Tired of going to class every day? Get your master's degree from your living room. NIU remembers Stephen Agee. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
The long battle to relocate Sycamore residents from a flood-plagued area may be ending. I'm Cody Berman.
And I'm Erica Axton. The county has been trying to move those people to new homes, but a battle over what the land is worth has tied up the relocation, until now it appears. Now the owner of Evergreen Village in Sycamore says he'll take the money and just in time. This is a story we told you about on Monday. Park owner Frank Santoro says he will accept the $1.5 million offered by DeKalb County to buy the mobile home park, an offer set to expire tonight. Santoro says the property was worth $1 million more. He fought the county, but angry homeowners have been looking for a buyout so they can move. The land has been flooded repeatedly through the years. Santoro told NTC News earlier this month that he would take the county's deal. He is now confirming it. The College of Education at NIU is ranked the best in the nation to earn an online master's degree in education. Reporter Maria Wojnicki tells us how online education is changing the meaning of the word classroom.
NIU is moving away from the traditional liberal arts degrees, where students won't need to step foot onto campus or even have to meet the professor. Certain majors, however, require students to fulfill an online course.
It's more beneficial to have that hands-on experience in a classroom setting.
NIU offers hybrid courses where the class is either strictly online or in a classroom. Molly Swick, education instructor, created a dynamic blended course that allows education to have an online component as well as meet face-to-face.
You cannot replace that kind of face-to-face experience on a computer. And so my fear is that that type of learning is going to be really rare.
As NIU is trending toward online education, the cost to attend a university would change. Students won't have to live on campus, in DeKalb, or even in the state to receive a degree.
Online courses is one of the best ways to make money, to make profit, or in a nonprofit institution to cut your costs.
Online education courses allow students to be in the comfort of their own home.
If I have to do my homework in my room and just never go to class, I'll never get it done because there's other things that I would rather be doing.
NIU will continue to offer courses in a classroom setting, as well as head towards a new direction of online education. I'm Maria Wojnicki, NTC News in DeKalb.
Thanks, Maria. NIU student Stephen Agee's life is being commemorated by a plaque and a conference room named in his honor. Agee was shot and killed at an off-campus party in November of 2011. The plaque is located outside the Campus Life building. The room named after him is in the Student Association Suite in the Campus Life building. Agee also has a scholarship fund in his memory, which is run by his mother, to help students go to college.
An NIU student busted for having an assault rifle in his dorm room is in trouble again. 29-year-old Kevin Owenga had been a resident of Newhall West last fall when he had been arrested for possession of an assault rifle. While investigating, authorities claim to have found child pornography on his computer.
Today, a Matson man is convicted of armed robbery. The trial of Damond Hunt started Tuesday, and the jury made their decision today. Hunt faces multiple charges of robbing 2 University Heights employees and assaulting one with his gun. After being found guilty, Hunt could be sentenced up to 75 years in prison.
Students may have to find a new place to smoke cigarettes between classes. NTC reporter Caprice Butts has more.
On a college campus, you might see this happening often. people lighting up for a smoke break. Whether they are leaving class or just taking a quick break, it's a familiar scene. In just one day, you might find these filled with cigarettes outside of different buildings on campus, but soon that might change.
It's possible that soon NIU students will no longer be able to take smoke breaks.
A proposal is now in consideration to ban smoking on all college campuses that are funded by the state. If passed, people on Illinois campuses will no longer be able to smoke on college property by July 1st. The decision was made to finally put in a proposal after several issues were brought up.
Still found thousands of cigarette butts. So they said from an appearance standpoint it would be desirable, but of course it's obviously driven by a concern about secondhand smoke and the fact that cigarette smoke is pervasive.
Seeing as many of NIU's population are smokers, this idea has not passed well with some students.
I mean, I don't think that's fair. We go through a lot of stress, and I feel like this is a good stress reliever for a lot of people.
Campus is a public place, and people pay thousands and thousands of dollars to attend here, and I don't think that it would be fair to tell people that what they do, they can't do on campus.
The decision for the act is still being reviewed by the House. Soon we will know if NIU will become smoke-free. From DeKalb with NTC News, I'm Caprice Butts.
Patricia Schmidt apologizes to the families of the 21-year-olds killed in the February 2011 crash in a letter. Patricia Schmidt was acquitted of a reckless homicide. Schmidt also was accused of a reckless homicide death of Tim Getzelman and Alexis Weber after she had a seizure behind the wheel, striking the vehicle. In the apology, she vows never to drive again.
Looking to get into shape this summer, reporter Sabrina Bennett has found a new fun way to work out right inside the 815.
Stretching, bending, and even flipping are all part of the latest craze that is changing the way people view traditional exercise. Sycamore Performing Arts is where this intermediate level dance group started practicing with Silks back in September, and they're already giving productions like Cirque du Soleil a run for their money. Meet aerial fitness instructor Jody Riley.
Students to pack on the pounds for insulation, but now that summer is coming, how can we get back into shape?
Cassie Santrella has more on a new trend coming to DeKalb.
We know what to expect each winter. Kids bundled up from head to toe, lots of snow, and for some of us, packing on a few extra pounds. NIU has done its share promoting students and the community to lose weight using your basic diet and exercise methods. Nutritionists on campus even offer to help students maintain these methods.
When they first find out about it and come in, they're just, oh my gosh, this is so helpful, because they're really busy and it's hard to kind of plan snacks and meals around that busy schedule.
New trends in weight loss suggest medical weight loss is another option to help people plan and lose weight. Medical weight loss uses a chemical called HCG. HCG is injected into the bloodstream to change the way you lose weight. These injections are paired with a strict diet that patients keep track of in food journals. It's hard, but medical weight loss patients like Heather Lawton like the results they see.
I definitely think that it's amazing. I've lost quite a bit of weight in a short period of time.
Patients meet with a nutritionist weekly to discuss their progress and weigh in. Although the idea of quick results is appealing, medical weight loss nutritionists still agree that your basic diet and exercise routines are important.
Just as a rule of thumb, you should always start with the easiest method first and the most conservative. So diet and exercise is great.
Whether it's hitting the gym or keeping a food journal, this winter has left us trying to lose weight. Reporting for NTC News, I'm Cassandra Santrella.
The semester is starting to wind down now.
Annie Weber joins us to discuss how to avoid bad habits as students study and do homework more and eat and sleep less.
Now, I know your job is to promote healthy living, so what do you give students advice at this time of year?
Well, generally around this time of year, students are starting to get very stressed with finals, so we like to encourage them to keep up with their regular eating habits, regular exercise habits, so that they don't fall into a rut of eating less, staying up late, drinking all the coffee for caffeine, that type of thing.
And on the other side of the coin, I mean, what food should students try and avoid?
Well, in nutrition and dietetics, we don't necessarily want to focus on avoiding foods. It's more about what you can minimize. Specifically foods that are less nutritionally dense, which means they don't have as many nutrients in them. So for example, we would like to see less of saturated fat intake, high sugary food intake, so foods like your fried foods, baked goods, sodas, alcohol. Those are less nutrient dense, so they don't keep us as full, which when it comes to studying, as you know, you want to be full so you have the energy to stay awake if you have to a little bit longer.
That's all the stuff I like, but if you were going to structure a meal plan, what things would you put together to make sure students get the best nutrition?
Well, generally there are a lot of misconceptions about meal planning and timing of meals throughout the day when we should eat. The truth is everybody's meal plans are individualized. What works for you isn't going to work for me or anybody else. So at Campus Rec Nutrition, this is one of the biggest things we work on with students. We see it very frequently, those living off campus, those living in the dorms. So we like to help them, we sit down and we personalize it to meet their work schedule, their academic schedule, extracurricular activities, anything that works for them.
Now, for students who are just starting to want to, try and eat healthier, what advice do you have for them?
At this time of year, I think it's important to just remember that small changes make big differences. We can't change overnight. We're all human. So starting off as slow as you want, as slow as you need to, making those changes as you can. Don't, get down on yourself for having a few slip-ups here and there. Doing it at your own pace so that you can be more consistent and add it to your lifestyle is what we strive for.
And how important is breakfast?
Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, as we say. It's so cliche, but it's the truth. When you are fasting overnight while you're sleeping, you wake up and your body needs that protein to get going. And especially during finals and this time of the year when you are so busy, you need that energy to get you going and to stay concentrated and focused.
Thank you. Annie, we think it's great what you guys are doing over there, so keep up the good work, and we appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
The old dormitory on campus is being torn down.
So we asked people around NIU campus what their thoughts are on Douglas Hall being demolished. Here's what they told us.
I don't mind it very much. I think it's a good idea.
It's a really great central location for some of the students here, and it's just a great part of NIU.
It kind of sucks because I know a lot of people, they chose Douglas because it was one of the cheaper dorms, and it's not bad.
I have so much memories in this building, and it's just going to be gone by the summer.
Soda flavors seem to be coming out every year. Ever wonder who comes up with all these different and delicious flavors? Well, we're about to tell you.
What makes something taste like vanilla and the other things taste like, let's say, butterscotch? Call it the magic of chemistry. And in this video essay, we will meet a woman from Beloit who does magic every day with flavors.
I create flavors at the molecular level. I create taste and profiles using natural materials, artificial materials that will impart a given characterizing flavor, such as strawberry, chocolate, coconut, etc. I'm primarily in the beverage side, sweet and fruity flavors. It's a lot of fun. You get to deal with a lot of different food products, and it's also very gratifying once you see something on the market that you know that you had an integral part in creating. I have a great job. I mean, think about it. How many people get paid to smell and taste and create all day long? Every day is a challenge. Every day is something new. I've been doing this over 35 years, and I learn something every single day. The other part of my job now at Kerry, which is really a challenge, is training my replacements. I'm at the end of my career, although it's hard for me to believe because I still think of myself as that kid going to my first flavor chemist meeting, but I'm not anymore. One of the things is these young people are so acute, so fast. They keep me on my toes. They keep me challenged all the time. And I love it. I love seeing them progress. I love knowing that I'm helping to make the next generation of flavor chemists.
Thanks to NTC reporter Keisha Howarth, who put that piece together for us.
You know, I always wondered where those flavors even came from.
Yeah, who knows what they'll come up with next.
Well, it'll be something to look forward to.
Yep. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Goodbye, everyone.
The weather is costing the city of DeKalb a bundle chasing broken water pipes. Campus elections continue, but did anyone bother to vote? And talk about a tough assignment. These NIU students are building their own airplane. NTC News Tonight starts now.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Cold weather continues to bear down on DeKalb as we head toward April. Good evening, I'm Erica Burgess.
And I'm Erica Exton. Besides the crazy cost of plowing snow and dropping salt, the city has been slapped with another big cost: repairing water main breaks.
NTC reporter Mo Ogunmadede tells us that at times, it's all the city can do to keep up.
The DeKalb community witnessed a huge water main break on the junction of Hillcrest and Sycamore, where DeKalb's Public Works, the Water Division Department, was called to its attention immediately. DeKalb has witnessed severe snow conditions this winter, which in fact has caused water pipes to burst all winter long. Compared to other previous seasons DeKalb has seen, more water main breaks have been happening frequently.
The past month to 6 weeks, it seems we've been having anywhere from 2 to 6 water main breaks.
In order to determine a water break that is underground, water will bubble up on the surface and will leak onto the sidewalks and roadways. Then the roads will have to close down, which then causes ongoing traffic. The DeKalb Water Division crew will have to go underground to get to the root of the problem in order to fix the water main. This big yellow truck is called the backhoe, where the workers use this one part right here to dig into the concrete floor so they can get access to the broken pipelines. Water main breaks can last several hours for the crew to fix and are quite expensive depending on the location of the break.
The roadway, it can be much more expensive. So usually maybe $2,000 to $5,000, $6,000 per break. We've had them cost anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 too.
The DeKalb Water Division uses a monitoring system called the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, also known as SCADA, to monitor the water pressure and to gather information of where a leak on a pipeline has happened. In DeKalb, I'm Mo Ogunmadede, NTC News.
With warmer temperatures approaching, we should be seeing a decrease in the amount of water main breaks.
Electric bills in DeKalb could rise by 55% this summer for residents using the city's selected electric providers. Monday, DeKalb aldermen approved a 3-year agreement with Homefield Energy. The new agreement takes effect on July 1st. Residents will have the opportunity to get out of the program at any time.
A DeKalb man who broke into his estranged wife's house and punched out the man who was in her bed at the time is not seeing any jail time. Dennis Hamill was facing up to 30 years, but he struck a plea deal. He was convicted of criminal sexual abuse and burglary.
A 19-year-old DeKalb man thought he was just taking care of a city ticket when he showed up in municipal court. Now he's facing a marijuana delivery charge. The city prosecutor says Justin Gates smelled like marijuana. Police were tipped off. They searched his house and found 34 grams of pot and paraphernalia. He could get 5 years in prison.
Over 1,600 students turned out yesterday for the Student Association elections, and even more are expected today. 1,500 students voted in 2013 and about 750 voted in 2012. In just the first day, more students came out to vote than last year's total. Candidates are using social media and met with students to promote the two-day event. T-shirts and other free items were given to increase voter turnout.
It's important to vote because we need to get our message heard and through the people, they represent us. So if you want to get your voice heard, vote.
The offices up for election are president, vice president, treasurer, and student trustee.
Students planning to live in the dorms will have one less choice because Douglas Hall is closing at the end of the semester. Removing the dorm is part of President Baker's master plan thesis to create a new campus. The building is one of the original large residence halls built in the 1960s. Students living in Douglas will be given a chance to choose a new room in a different dorm. The hall will be torn down before the fall semester.
Engineering students already have a full schedule every semester, but some embrace a different challenge.
This engineering club has built their own airplane from scratch.
The aero design team here at NIU is building what they like to call the Husky Flyer 2. After finishing the airplane, they are sending it off to a competition in Texas.
There's 75 total teams, and there's people from India, or there's teams from India, there's teams from Poland, there's teams from different parts of South America. There's a few other United States colleges.
Outside of class, the students have spent over 1,000 hours designing and building the Husky Flyer.
My friends came up to me and said, "Hey Dan, do you want to build an airplane?" I'm like, I like building things, sure.
In building the plane, the most important factor is the lift-to-drag ratio. So, the lighter the plane, the better. And just like every big project, this one had its complications and obstacles to overcome.
If the tail is too heavy, the issue you have is when you take off and you're going to be moving around, the second your tail drops, you have no control whatsoever, and your plane will crash.
Many of the parts are tested here in this wind tunnel to check the aerodynamics and the lift.
They built a small-scale system and mount it right here inside this tunnel.
For the testing in the wind tunnel, just the complexity of being able to get efficient numbers, that was a big issue.
But the design team says that the time and effort they put in is all worth it.
Seeing that baby take off, that's the best part.
After months of hard work, the aero design team is looking forward to sending it off to Texas in style. In DeKalb, Erica Burgess, NTC News.
Students will find out if they won the contest by the end of the week.
It almost makes you want to get in a plane somewhere and go, someplace warm.
Got that right.
Yeah.
Hopefully Brittany Merlot will provide us with some good news for our upcoming weather.
Not quite yet. In the future, but we are going to have to go through some crummy weather tomorrow to get there. Let's take a look at your temperatures in the area for tomorrow. We're actually going to see temperatures up in the upper 40s.
Even if you've never played dominoes, chances are you've played with them. Setting them up on their edges and knocking them over.
Well, imagine if they were all full-size textbooks. That's what a group of college students used to break a Guinness World Record. School of Economics in Poland now hold the record for the largest domino chain. 4,998 books were toppled as the college students took down the previous record of 4,845 books.
When papers and exams start to pile up, wouldn't you love to be able to domino all your books away?
It truly would be a college student's dream.
NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University. We want to thank you all for being with us.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back the same time tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.
You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
It's happened to many of us. Times we know we probably shouldn't drive. I'm Cassie Santrella. Thank you for joining us tonight.
And I'm Erica Exton. Maybe it's after having a bit too much to drink or being awake way too long. But when it comes to prescription drugs, where does the line exist? That question is at the center of a criminal case being decided in DeKalb County's courtroom. NTC's Alan Kozlu takes us inside the controversy for the first time in county history, inside a criminal trial with a television camera.
Emotions ran high here on the first day of the Patricia Schmidt reckless homicide trial as parents of Tim Getzelman and Lexi Weber took the stand.
Dawn Weber and Tamara Getzelman fight back tears while being asked questions about and shown pictures of their respective children, Lexi and Tim. It's an emotional display that likely would have had an impact on a jury. But this is a bench trial, meaning the final ruling will come from the presiding judge, Robin Stuckert. Schmidt had the most grievous charge of driving under the influence of prescription medications dismissed due to lack of evidence. But that still leaves reckless homicide and aggravated reckless driving, Class 3 and 4 felonies respectively. The prosecution is arguing that by driving at all while she had a seizure disorder, Schmidt was acting recklessly.
That caused the death of Tim Getzelman and Lexi Weber. I'm confident that you'll find guilty of all the counts of reckless homicide and of aggravated reckless driving.
The prosecutors first called eyewitnesses to describe the accident as it happened in February 2011.
Now the witnesses described Schmidt's truck passing here through the turning lanes, missing the cars in the other lanes before entering the intersection and striking Tim and Lexi's car. The real question of this trial is, should Patricia Schmidt have known better than to have driven having a seizure disorder? And should anyone with a seizure disorder know better for that matter? And if that's the case, when are they going to start revoking licenses?
After the eyewitnesses and Tim and Lexi's mothers were brought in to testify, the arresting officers gave their testimony. Video footage of the officers' interviews with Schmidt was also presented as evidence. The defense chose not to make any opening statements until after the prosecution finished presenting evidence. They did conduct some brief cross-examination of the prosecution's witnesses.
She was cooperative with you?
Yes, she appeared to be.
She gave you her insurance, and she gave you her driver's license?
Correct.
Now the trial continues March 3rd. If she's convicted, Patricia Schmidt faces probation or up to 5 years in prison. This is Alan Kozlu reporting from Sycamore.
Alan told us the trial will continue next week at the courthouse in Sycamore.
And as we said, the trial is groundbreaking in another way. Our NTC camera is the first in DeKalb County history to be allowed to record a criminal trial.
Former NIU Police Chief Don Grady has fired a civil lawsuit against the university. NIU says Grady has removed from his job because he allegedly violated his contract. But Grady's lawsuit claims he was wrongfully fired and treated more harshly because of the race. He is also claiming he never received a hearing. He believes his punishment was more extreme than those involved in highly publicized coffee fund scandal 2 years ago. Grady is asking for his job back pay and damages along with the apology from the university.
A 29-year-old DeKalb man has been sentenced Tuesday to 7 years in prison for running a meth lab in a DeKalb hotel room. Thomas Wilkinson agreed to plead guilty in exchange for dropping all other charges. 6 others accused in connection with the conspiracy also accepted plea agreements. 9 others have charges pending.
The university is looking to make significant changes to the culture in DeKalb. There have been issues with execution and funding. Brett Tadula has the full story.
Robin. Ladies and gentlemen, Doug Baker.
NIU President Doug Baker has spoken at multiple events recently. His message? Creating a student-centered community, not just at the university, but in the entire city of DeKalb. While speaking to the City Club of Chicago last Thursday, Baker pointed out a lot that the school is successful at, but also spoke to what parts of Northern he wished would improve. By using last semester's Bold Futures workshops to gauge what changes NIU could make, Baker thought that students could use the university as more than just a place to get their degree.
And I'm concerned that we have too many students leave the university before they graduate. And one of the things that really gets students to stay is that engagement.
He brought up a triangle-type system that connects the students, faculty, and alumni as future employers to create a thriving community. Baker and NIU have been working with the City of DeKalb and Mayor Ray to find ways to get more of that community that they desire.
It's obvious when the university is on break, the students leave the area. The university is an economic driver.
One way both parties can think to help their improvement efforts is to hold more events at the Convocation Center. The city and the school both feel that the 10,000-seat facility is being underused with a lack of events other than university athletics, and will survey the community to find out what they might want to see there.
I think that entertainment can be broadened.
It's just a great rallying point to bring community and university together and share those experiences.
They would like to add more events at the Convocation Center, around campus, in downtown DeKalb, and create more places for students to hang out. The school has also met with the Student Association Senate to get more of an understanding about why students are leaving for the weekends.
So you can stay on campus during the day and you feel welcome, you feel like there's a place where you can sit, get a cup of coffee, do your homework.
Well, what we're really striving for is student career and life success. And to have that educational experience means that you need to stay around and have the educational experience.
Baker and NIU will hold more Bold Futures workshops coming up, as they will attempt to turn the school into what they call a university of the future. Reporting from DeKalb, Brett Tudela, NTC News.
Thanks, Brett. And on the subject of improvements, Butterburgers and frozen custard should be coming to DeKalb this summer. A couple plans to build a Culver's restaurant near the NIU campus. They plan to replace the old Siesta Cancun restaurant by Fatty's on Lincoln Highway. They are pushing for an opening of August 1st, but the city's permit process could delay it.
Before we go any further, let's get a look at our weather window for today and tomorrow.
All right, well, my name is Brittany Merlot, and today, oh my gosh, we are in the wind chill advisory. We are seeing temperatures as low as 20 degrees today, and tomorrow isn't going to look any better. As we take a look at our temperatures for tomorrow,
New York's finest are trained to keep their cool.
Unfortunately for these police officers and firefighters, their training failed them. An all-out brawl erupts during a charity hockey game amongst New York's finest. Both benches cleared at the 41st annual Police versus Fire Department hockey match in New York City. No word on what started the fight, but fans cheered wildly as the cops and firefighters used their fists. This fan cell phones video shows players from both teams swinging punches as the referees try to hold them back. The second period brawl only escalates as fans cheer the players on. The NYPD and FDNY had no comment on the fight.
The citizens of New York, they expect their police officers and firefighters to protect their city.
But no one could protect them from each other this time.